What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Monster Legends. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, couple new things, newish things going on. The Fraternity Team event, buy gems, teams get Elementiums. It's always nice, I guess, if someone's going to spend some money on gems, that's great. Alright, obviously these are generally timed with team races because Social Point knows is when people want to buy the most gems because it's a spending event. Alright, this has been on for a little bit. That's not really new, okay? Oh, look at that. Anonymous team member got me an Elementium. Hot dog. This is what I was talking about. Now, you guys may have noticed that yesterday there was not a Monster Legends video. I went with Fortnite. I love me some Fortnite. It's fun, and I plan on doing more Fortnite, especially during races because, in all honesty, I hate races. I'm gonna say it. I say it every time. I hate them. They are the worst event in the game by far. They're just bad. And so, in all honesty, in like the future, I probably won't even cover like the race itself, like going over like all the stuff and things. I'll just cover like the new monster, whatever the new guy is, do an analysis on him, and move on. Because, like I said, races are the worst event in the game. Unless you're a spender. If you're a spender, they're probably fantastic for you because you can do really well, you win first, or you're joining on these little mini race teams, getting those easy legends. But for like the average player, for a dedicated player like in one team, they suck. They're just not good. I hate them. I hate them. That's where I'm going to leave it. Alright? So this race is a little different than the other races, at least, with the rewards being a little bit different here. Finally, second and third gets a ranked 1 monster. Still only rank 1, which, meh, alright? Especially if you're one of those teams that come in second with like 30 laps. This is still a pretty crappy consolation prize to the guy above you getting not only a 115, but also a 105 as well. Kinda meh, alright? That's another big thing about the races that blow, is if you're not going to spin to win, you might as well not spin because it's not going to be worth it, alright? Anyways, that's the main second prize. Everything below that blows. Okay, you've got Olympus. He's really not that good. Very mediocre Earth monster. A lot better ones out there that do the same thing he does, just better. Then you've got Aoe. Aoe again, pretty garbo. Not that great of a light monster. And it just goes down to an epic after that, Cold Briss, which I would probably take him over the other 2 legends, to be honest, because they suck. All right. It seems like they did bump the Elementium up a little bit. I want to say it was 40 last time for rank 2nd and 3rd, so that got a little bit of a buff. Not a big deal. But obviously the main thing people are wanting to hear about today is Cryotan. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go into a Cryotan analysis page like always. We'll go over his stats and skills. Is he worth the hype? Is he super awesome? Is he kind of crap? Is he, you know, just one of those mad monsters in the middle? We're going to talk about it. So let's jump in, and then we'll finish things up here. Alright, peeps. So here we are at the Cryotan analysis page. Patent pending. Not really. But anyways, we're going to do like always, go through his stats, his skills, his traits, all that good stuff. And then we'll talk a little bit about him, where he fits. Is he good? Is he eh? Alright? So first up, we're going to jump into his stats. His power, 3,421. Kind of to be expected for the class of monster he is. He is a tank monster. So decent power, enough to do a little bit of damage if you need him to do a little bit of damage. But generally, they are not ruined for damage because they're tank class. But, you know, maybe you will. Who knows? You can. Alright? The life stat, obviously going to be really high. 41,017 health. So he's up there. He's up there with like Oros, Agursus, stuff like that. He's got the high life stat because he's a tank. They've got to have high life or they're not really a very great tank. You know what I'm saying? His speed obviously going to also fit with the tank class at 3,003. So very, very slow, which in my opinion kind of takes this guy from where he could have been pretty useful, maybe, to being much less useful. Okay? Just going to say it. Alright? The trait, the mountain trait, of course, you know, that kind of comes with being a tank, is the mountain trait's kind of like, you know, synonymous with being a tank. He is in 3 different books, not to mention being water and legendary. He's an evil legion. He is in the winter, and also in the family books, obviously the family of mountains, Oros, Agursus, and this guy. In the relic slots here, the chess, he's got a chess piece relic and a trap. Now, if you guys don't know, there is a bronze relic out there that actually does kind of what one of his skills does already. and counters General Thades, so we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. Anyways, moving down to his special skill. This is crazy. Alright, what's it called? Entropic Death of the Universe. Whoa! Alright, it doesn't do any damage. It's not supposed to do damage. It's kind of like Oros' skill, pretty much the exact same as Oros. 50% chance to kill any one of the monsters of the enemy team. 20% chance to kill bosses. But this one actually has an extra effect stacked on top that the enemy team will die in 3 turns. So you get this right out the bat. Not bad as long as you can make this guy last for 3 turns, which if you were tank rolling with him, you probably can, alright? He's got a lot of life, and he's got some good tanking skills, so if you get his ultimate early on, it can be very devastating, okay? It doesn't just outright kill them, you can actually outlast them to kill them as well. So actually a really good special for the tank class, I think. Not bad at all. Moving over to his skills, this first one up here, I don't know how to say it. I'm not even going to try to say it. Okay, I'm going to try to say it, alright? What is it? Busul Montes. I don't know. Alright. Anyways, this is the big skill everybody was hyping up. It's going to be amazing. Mega Freeze is so OP. For a couple of reasons, it's not. But first up, look at that stamina cost. 250 stamina. Now, before I go any further, this is all on the wiki right now. If this changes, it changes. But I have reason to believe that that is actually the correct stamina cost. Because it said it's going to be the highest stam cost skill in the game. And for what it does, not worth it, okay? I would recommend if you're using Cryotan to actually not take this skill if it costs that much stamina, because it's going to ruin his worthless. It's going to make him worthless. It's not going to be something you want to do, because you have to run a stamina rune on him, which makes him actually weaker in his life, in his speed, everything else. It kind of knocks him down a rank instead of making him better. So some people were saying this is going to be OP, it's Mega Freeze. There's a couple things to notice here. 1, the massive stamina cost. 2, the fact that it's only Mega Freeze does not mean much, okay? A lot of people say, oh, well, it goes through immunity to freeze. It goes through mountain traits. Absolutely. But you do realize the higher you get in trophies and stuff, 90% of people are going to be playing with generals, or they're playing with nemesis monsters, or VIPs. All 3 of those are very resistant to status effects. So this Mega Freeze still can easily be blocked by them, and it's not that powerful, especially for in-game kind of content. For a newer player, that's fantastic. Mega Freeze is going to destroy your enemies because they will probably not have very good traits on their monsters yet. When people start, doing that min-max, getting to the top level, this is going to really die off in popularity very quickly. All right? So moving over, we've got, I don't even know how to say half these names. What is that? Yeboya. I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be what I think is the much better alternative to taking the AoE version. This is a single target version of the same skill, except for it does Mega Freeze on somebody and also applies instant death after 3 turns, which is actually pretty powerful because 2 of those turns, they're frozen. And it also means that you can pick the monster you want to hit with it, and you can run this skill without having to use a stamina rune, and it's 95% accurate versus 90% accurate of the AoE version. So I would say definitely take that skill to single target. The AoE is kind of up to you if you want to. To me, it doesn't add up as being worth the stamina slot on your runes that you're going to have to use. So I would say the single target, absolutely take that. The AoE, very questionable. All right, moving over, we've got Olympus. This is going to be his big self buff. It's a taunt with 100% shield and the same skill, which is not bad at all, especially if you got his ultimate or something, or drop that single target Mega Freeze and instant death on somebody. That skill right there in Team Wars will be very annoying, because you're going to Mega Freeze an enemy, and if they can't strip that negative effect off their team, he's going to die in 3 turns, and he's already Mega Frozen, so he's not going to get much of a opportunity to attack before he's dead. And with this tank skill here, being able to taunt and give yourself double life, it means that he can soak up a lot of damage and easily last 3 turns by himself to give that instant death time to actually queue up, which means for Team Wars, he'll be a solid monster in Team Wars for sure, because of the fact that he does have the ultimate with the chance to instant kill, which is very annoying if you're attacking that, plus, obviously, the taunt skills, the single target Mega Freeze and stuff like that, very useful, very, very useful. Alright, moving down, we've got another weird word. What is that? Acradius? I don't even know. I can't even words these things. Why do they make such weird words? Anyways, this is a 70 power single target special base damage. To me, the biggest drawback here is 1, 40 stamina cost, pretty heavy stamina cost, and it's a 3-turn cooldown. There's a lot of monsters out there that have much less cooldowns on similar power skills. So I don't know why he's got so many cooldowns on his things. Is pretty much the word I'm going to go for there. But it's just heavy damage. It's good for one-shotting people if you're running a strength build on him. That will put him in an area to be able to one-shot people pretty easy. But like I said, the cooldown kind of offsets it a little bit in my opinion. Moving over is a skill a lot of people were touting really early on is, oh, it's so great, it counters Thades. It's going to be a 0 stamina cost skill that gives him 25% of his stamina and an extra turn, which is fantastic. It's great. It's very good. But here's the thing. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. 2018 is right around the corner, and I guarantee you through the course of 2018, General Thades is going to become completely obsolete. Just going to say it. There are so many relics out there right now that counter her and make her a trash denial that as soon as people start getting those relics, General Thades is going to hit the absolute bottom of the barrel for denial. She will be useless because AoE stam drain is going to be nothing. People will just have relics on that when they get hit by it, they immediately get stamina back. So it's a nice skill to have for now if you don't have those relics, but like I said, there's a bronze chest piece relic that actually does very similar to what this skill does, minus the extra turn. But like I said, you're going to get that stamina back, so you don't even have to use it anyway. Anyways, that's just what I'm saying is, it's kind of nice to have, don't get me wrong, but there are so many relics out there that make General Thades crap that, I don't know, it's not something I'm actually actively looking for in a monster skill set to counter her anymore, because she's going to become pretty much trash anyway. Just gonna say it, it's gonna happen. Alright, get ready for it, peeps. Anyways, this last skill here, Elysium, this is another self-buff, kind of like the Olympus, but without the taunt. It's gonna double his life and give him a 50% life shield. Now, I'm kind of curious how it works. If he pops the double life first, and then gets the 50% shield, it's gonna be a freaking big shield and a lot of life. So, like, it's crazy. What's 40,000? You double, that's 80,000, plus 50% shield is 50,000. That's pretty much, he has double the life now, and instead of a 50% shield, it would essentially be a 100% shield because he doubled his life before the shield activated. Now, if the shield goes on first, then it just kind of, it balances out, I guess. But still a really solid tanking skill if you want him to live, to actually see the usefulness and the instant death skills he has to actually get people to die. It's not a bad one to take, and it's one I'd recommend you might want to actually look at. People say, oh, there's no taunt, it's trash. Not really. It does have uses, and it's something that if you're really playing on that instant death to work, it's nice to be able to keep your guy alive. Alright, so where does this guy fit? How to run him? Okay? I'm going to go ahead and say, in a PvP setting, this guy's not going to do a whole lot for you. Okay, just going to say it, he's not the best. For a couple of reasons. One, yes, he can tank, but he has no ability to do mirror by himself to reflect attacks back, or reflect damage, which makes him kind of a weaker tank compared to someone like Oros or Agursis, who can actually send that damage right back to somebody, which helps boost their DPS. This guy is almost a 0 DPS tank in the fact that he just takes punches, isn't dealing anything back. So in PvP, questionably okay maybe in PvP. For lower players, he'll be great, but once you start getting higher and climbing the ranks, he's going to lose a lot of his effectiveness very quickly. As for Team Wars, pretty solid Team Wars monster, I'm going to say it. He's actually really good. That's, in my opinion, his best use, because he'll be so obnoxious to fight if he gets that ultimate, if he can keep tanking himself. But like I said, the big problem with him, one, he's freakishly slow. If you're going to use the Mega Freeze, you got to use Stamina, which is going to make him even worse. Plus, he can be possessed. Okay, so you can turn all that great stuff right against your own team, which would really suck, and being really slow means it's likely he will be. So, how do you want to rune him? That's the next question, right? What do you want to run on yours? How should you run him? If you're going to run him in a tanky build to really utilize that single target Mega Freeze with the instant death, I would say, probably, in my opinion, it'd be 2 life and a team speed. You don't really need speed on a tank, but it's not always horrible to have one. But 2 life, probably the best. Maybe a team life if you want to boost your team a little bit in their life. But having the team speeds is important to help boost your denial. If you go too far away from that, you start getting to the point where your denial is outsped, and that's always bad. Always bad. Never a good thing. Okay? If you're going to go for the Mega Freeze AoE, I highly recommend you don't. But it would be one where you run a stamina. You got to have a pretty high level stamina. I think it's level 5 or above. I could be wrong there. But you need a stamina. You'll need a life to capitalize on his HP, of course. And I would say a speed or a team speed for sure, because he is slow as crap. He's not going to ever be a denial for you. That's not possible. He's not denial. He's too slow. So I hate the fact that you have to use a stamina rune on him. It makes him worse, in my opinion. But you could also run this guy if you wanted to in a damage dealing / support role. You could run this guy with 3 team speed to help boost your team speed. He's got enough life. He doesn't really need a life rune to stay good, especially with his taunting skills that double his life or give him 100% shield. It's also going to boost your team speed, and it will allow him still to use that single target mega freeze and stuff like that. Not a bad setup for him, okay? 2 team speeds and a life if you want to get a little more tanky with him, but 3 team speeds isn't bad. It'll work for you. If you want to go damage dealer, if you want to hit some heavy numbers, he's got a 70 power special attack. He's got the 45 mega freeze. He has a lot of 0 damage. I wouldn't recommend a damage dealing role. He doesn't have enough damaging skills, but he does have some. Okay, if you want to do that, maybe a strength and 2 team speed, or 2 strength and a team speed, something like that. He doesn't need speed. He's just to utilize them anyway. So team speeds are probably better for him in my opinion. But that's how I would run mine. If I had one, I won't get one, but if I did have one, that's how I would run it. I'd probably run mine with 3 team speed, though, to be honest. I think it's the stronger setup for him because he has backup deny capability, single target, and a little bit of damage as well. Plus, he can tank. All right, so that's my analysis of Cryotan. Now let's go ahead and jump back and finish things up. All right, peeps. Well, there's the analysis of Cryotan. Like I said, I'm not really super sold on him. Yeah, he's got some things going for him, but he's not a universally good monster. Like, some monsters just are good. Like Zyron, no matter what team you run behind it, it's a good monster. Cryotan really is team dependent. It's not super great on its own. It's got to have a supporting team that works with it, and it's only really reliable against people that aren't using generals, hardened monsters, or bulwark traits. So, in my opinion, it's a meh. It's right there in the mediocre range. Yes, it has uses. No, it's not bad, but it's nothing substantially crazy and amazing. It's just, it's there. It's there if you've got it. It's not terrible. All right? So that's what I think of it. Other people may think differently. That's fine. Everybody got their own opinion. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave those in the down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button to show your support, and I will see you guys next time.